Alright class, welcome back to the second lecture. So last time we talked about significant figures and significant figures in calculation, and then we did a bunch of practice problems, and I give you a take-home problem to do. Now I want to finish that up. Now before we go over the practice problems that I gave you to do at home, I want to go over rounding one more time. So we said you're going to do the calculation and you're going to get a number. And then you have to see how many sig fig you are supposed to have. And you are going to round based on how many sig fig you need. Okay? Now I want to do a couple practice problems just to make sure we're on the same page. So I put this on the board, and these numbers, I want to round all of them to 2 sig fig. Okay, so if I have 72.9, I need to round it to 2 sig fig. Since this is 9, this becomes 73. I have 72.4, since this is 4, if I round it down, this becomes 72. Again, I want to round all of them to 2 sig fig. Now 72.5, so we said it's kind of easy. If you have 1 through 4, you round down. 6 through 9, you round up. Now what happens if you have 5? When you have 5, it's a little bit more complicated. You have to look at the number before. So I have 5, I'm going to round to 2 sig fig. This number is even. We said if the number is even, you round down. So this would be 72. Then let's come over here. I have 5 here, but this number is odd. So if it's odd, I have to round up, and that would be 74. So far, so good. Okay, so this is how you will round it. There was some confusion. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. For 5, if you have a 5, you look at the number before. If it's even, you round down. If that number is odd, you round up. Okay, beautiful. Now, let's take out the take-home problem that I gave you. Take out the take-home problem that I gave you. We're going to go over those take-home problems. Alright, so the take-home problems that I gave you, I'm going to put it on the board here. So hopefully this helped clarify about 5. What do you do when you have 5? Alright, so our first take-home problem was 3.2215 times 1.67 plus 2.3. I'm going to ask you to do the calculation and then tell me the final answer with the correct number of significant figures. You ready to do this? Okay. Now the first thing you do parentheses. That's the first part that you do is parentheses. Now I have addition, and I said every time you have addition, you are going to line them up on top of each other. So far so good? Okay. Now, if I do the addition, I get 3.97. And then you go, where do I draw a line? You draw a line where things are not significant anymore. Where would that line be? That line would be nothing is significant after 3, right? Over here, nothing is significant. So I'm going to draw a line where things are not significant anymore. So I have this line. The numbers behind this line are going to determine my significant figure. The numbers behind this line are going to determine my significant figure. So based on this, how many sig fig I have? I have 2 sig fig. So based on this, I have 2 sig fig. Now, we said we are not going to round, because if you round right now, then you always end up rounding more up than you are rounding down, and it's not good, because if you keep rounding, our final answer is going to be off. So we don't round until the very end. So now what am I going to do? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to multiply 3.2215 by 3.97. Again, we do not round until the end. We do not round until the end. Now, if I do that, what my calculator is going to give me is 12.789355. Now we are going to round. Okay, now this is multiplication. I have to go with the lowest number of significant figure. How many sig fig is this one? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fig is this one. Now this one, even though I didn't round it, I have to keep in mind that this one only supposed to have 2 sig fig, right? This one is only supposed to have 2 sig fig. I didn't round it, I keep all the numbers, I'm going to round at the end. So 5, 2, so my final answer should have how many sig fig? Should have 2 sig fig. So I need to round this to reflect that, only 2 sig fig. This is 12.7, so I have to round it up to 13. Alright, so far so good. Okay, now the next problem that I gave you, that was the first take-home problem. The second take-home problem was 1.008 times 12010. Okay, this is a multiplication. Multiplication, we go with the lowest number of significant figure because we are as good as our weakest link, right? Okay, how many sig fig is this one over here? 1.008. Zeros sandwiched between the numbers, they're significant, right? So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I think the number that I gave you had a 0 over here too. I just looked at, so the number that I had given you for your take home had a 0 in here too. Yeah? Okay, good. So now let's look at that. So how many sig fig is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5 sig fig. Now how many sig fig is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. This 0 doesn't count. So this is only 4 sig fig. Right? This 0 doesn't count. Again, a 0 counts after a number if I have a decimal. A 0 does not count after a number if I have no decimal. So I have 5 sig fig, I have 4 sig fig. You following me? Okay, so this is multiplication. I'm going to multiply it together. If I multiply it together, what I get is 12106.08. Okay, now 4, 5. My final answer should have how many sig fig? 4 sig fig. My final answer should have 4 sig fig. So now, if that's the case, I have to completely forget about decimal places, right? I should completely forget about the decimal places. Now, how am I gonna round this to reflect 4 sig fig? This is 6, so I have to round up. So it would be 12110. That's gonna be my number. Okay. So again, forget the decimal place because I only need 4 sig fig. It's not even gonna have the decimal place for sure. I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at 5, so I have to round it to go to 4 sig fig. Now, some of you guys might have done this. Some of you guys might have rounded to 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. Did you do this one? Now, if you did that, here's what I need you to remember. You cannot change the value of the number. So this number here is 12,000, right? This number here is in 12,000s. Now, when I round it, I'm still 12,000. But if I don't put a 0 here, now I'm 1,200. So be careful about that. After you round, go back and go, did I accidentally change the number? Because you cannot change the number. So you still have to be in the 12,000s. All right, so far so good. Ready for last one? And last one was the hardest one. That's what I gave it last. So our last take-home problem was this. Ready for the last one? The last one, I give you an addition. It was 1780 plus 3500 plus 21.77. Okay, what I told you guys was that every time you have addition or subtraction, the way to do it, you have to line them up on top of each other, okay? So let's do that. Let's line these up. I'm going to go 1780, 3500, 21.77. And then I'm actually going to add up all these numbers together. It'll be 1. Oh boy, I'm sometimes not good at math. Okay, I'm ever good at math. Okay, so far so good. Now what am I going to do? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a line where things are not significant anymore. Where is that line? This one is a tricky problem. So significant, significant, significant. Is this 0 significant? That 0 is not significant because the 0 after a number, if there's no decimal places, is not significant. This has only 2 sig fig, right? So we draw a line where things are not significant anymore, and this 0 is not significant. So where do I draw my line? My line is going to be after 5, because significant, 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 bam, that one is not significant. So that's where I draw the line. So we said the numbers behind this line is going to determine my significant figure. Now how many is that? That's 2. So I am limited to 2 significant figures. I have to round to reflect that. Okay? Now how am I going to round it? So forget the decimal places. To round it is going to be 5,300 because I only need 2 sig fig. Now these are hard problems. I usually give you hard problems for take home. But check this out. You can't just say 53 because you cannot change the value of the number. This number is in 5,300, right? I cannot change the value of the number. Same as here. So you can't just say 53 because you're changing the value. So this has 533,1.77. I only need 2 sig fig. Forget the decimal place. I need to round this to 5,300. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. So these take-home problems were hard. If you know them, you're in a really good shape. Now, the last thing to talk about for